Come along with us on our journey through the world of money. Today we are stopping in... Stop. Where are we supposed to stop? The currency we are talking about today was widely used in Asia, Africa, and Oceania, and some evidence suggests that it was also known in Russia and North America. Okay, let's take a trip around the world and through time, as our currency was used for a good 4,000 years from the end of the 3rd century BC to the second half of the 20th century AD. Yes, that used to be a currency, and an extremely successful one too. The porcelain-like shell of the cowrie circulated around the globe longer than any other currency in the history of money. The oldest written evidence of cowries being used as money was found in China. A ritual bronze vessel from around the turn of the 1st century BC, for instance, bears the inscription, "This precious vessel was made for Yuan, Count of Chu, who paid 14 cowrie double strings for it. That is 140 cowries, a lot of money at the time." We learn about the relative value of shell money from another inscription from the year 925 BC. Citizen Yu Bai received from Chu Wei 1 jade tablet worth 80 double strings of cowrie for 6 fields of his land. So, 800 cowries were worth a jade tablet or 6 fields. No wonder the Chinese soon started to make cowrie imitations from bone or bronze. This is how the cowrie became the model for one of the oldest Chinese currencies, the so-called ant nose money, which circulated in the southern Chinese kingdom Chu around the time between the 3rd and 5th centuries BC. Evidence of the immense importance of the cowrie in the history of Chinese coinage is the fact that our modern-day symbol for money has its origin in the stylized image of a cowrie. The shell of the cowrie, also known as porcellana in Old Italian, was highly coveted. Her Latin name, Cypria moneta, indicates that the shell served as money for centuries. The species was native to tropical and subtropical coral reefs from the Red Sea in the west to northern Australia, Japan, Hawaii, and the Galapagos Islands. So it shouldn't come as a surprise that cowries were a means of payment in so many different parts of the world. This is, for instance, a yetak, a plaited string decorated with cowries and other precious objects, which was used by the Dani people in New Guinea to determine and to pay for the exact price of a pig. This cowrie string is originally from Africa. Cowries were exported to Africa since the 14th century, first by Arabic, then by English and even German merchants. This cowrie imitation from stone, too, has its origin in Africa. Today, the coins and banknotes of several states still refer to this ancient currency, as this banknote from the Maldives shows. By the way, even cowries weren't safe from the danger of inflation. Probably the biggest devaluation of the porcelain-like shell was caused by the trade company Adolf Jacob Hertz and Söhne in Hamburg. The company's fast ships transported cheap cowries from Africa's east coast to its west coast. The business boomed. The profit margin was 400%. This went well for a while because the Bornu Empire in central Sudan introduced the cowrie currency roughly at the same time. But when more cowries kept being imported to West Africa, although eventually demand was declining, inflation hit. Oh yes, and from time to time people still tell the curious tale of Dutch explorers in the 1960s who couldn't continue their expedition in the middle of New Guinea because they ran out of cowries and the carriers refused to accept a currency other than that. Thank you for listening, and you can find more podcasts about coins and money on the Sunflower Foundation webpage.